Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back. So, today's video is about the Season X heroes. I've been getting a lot of DMs about this, and people have been asking if they're any good, if they're worth replacing in your marches. So, relatively speaking, if you have, if you're an art main, for example, like myself, and you have Animox, you have Baki, and you have either a Sintra or a Saphiya, so you're doing pretty well on that lineup. But I think Floranis ranks above uh, Sintra, and in terms of performance, I would put her on an equal scale to Saphiya. But the good part about Floranis is survivability. It gives the artillery, which is a glass cannon, the ability to sustain itself a bit more. So, relatively speaking, I think this is a good hero to have in your artillery march. Personally, I'm using her with Animox, Bakari, and it's given me pretty good results even when I am combating people that have Saphiya. So I do come out on top with a really small margin. So if you already have Saphiya, I don't think you need to invest your Season X tokens into this heroes. Instead, I would suggest that you pour it all out into this guy. And the reason for that is that this one is perhaps the best out of the three. He is a really big damage dealer, like big damage. The reason for that is that his kit is centered around dealing massive amount of damage in round 1, and then you can boost this with his initiative directive ray, which will cause even more damage. This is the one that's suited to him, by the way, but I'll talk about the arrays in a bit. First, I'm just giving you guys an intro on the heroes, and then you can couple this hero with Miriam if you have her, but that's like a paid veil kind of hero. So if you have her in your march and him, then you're pretty much dealing like broken amount of damage. And this guy has already been nerfed once, but still he is unstoppable. So yeah, from what I've seen, he is one of the top picks in the new meta. Then we have Ingrid. Now, Ingrid's pretty much like I'd call her a replacement if you have no other decent hero. She's not really worth investing in my opinion, unless you have a kit that is centered around, disarms. Then you have Magani, he is causing shields. Then you have her, and she is giving robot army. So this is pretty much a annoying setup, which ensures that your army does not die and your opponent just ends up wasting turns. But outside of that, I still rank her like on the bottom of the Season X hero tier list. She's not bad in my opinion. It's just that you could go for other heroes that are already available. I mean, if you have Medelia, then the kit doesn't really work that way. It doesn't work as well with Ingrid. So my suggestion is that if you're an artillery main and you don't have Saphiya, then yes, of course you should go for Floranis. Otherwise, you should go for X578. And I mean, if you're a Veil, you can go for all three of them, but that's my suggestion. Now, let's move on to what their matrices are. So for Floranis, you have the Outburst Directive Array. I've checked the other two, and she only works with this one. Reason being, she has 3 passive skills, no leadership skill, so special combat's already out of the question. And even though she's providing healing, if you do the healing matrix, she has no onslaught skill, so you're already wasting like one power slot on that. So this one, which performs crits and gives her the ability to resist disarms, is pretty much the go-to matrix for her. I've checked and this one works best with her, so I recommend this matrix. You can see mine's not capped still, but still she is beating out other marches, which is incredible. So for X578, we have the Initiative Directive Array. This is what we're looking for when the units in enemy team exceed 60% of original number of units. Increase elemental damage dealt to them by 30%. Now why this is important is because in round 1 he is just going to blast the enemy, so of course they would exceed 60%, and that's the huge buff you're getting for like 6 turns worth of damage. I'd say this is the best array to run on X578. For Ingrid, I am running this War Shelter, which reduces physical and mental damage dealt to your hero, reduces when it's in a garrison, so further reducing. Then the fewer units in the hero-led team, the lower elemental and physical damage, and then you have increase in combat speed. She is also increasing some of your combat speed type buffs. Then you have the healing. So this War Shelter is what I'm running with her because her kit is not focused around damage. You can see that in the first one you deal elemental damage coefficient of 19,500 capped, and that's a 75% chance. So it's for a random enemy team and 35% chance to stun that enemy team, which is a good stat. It's better than Toma's. Then the passive reduces all damage dealt, so War Shelter is pretty good. Increases combat speed by 15%, 6% from the War Shelter, so that's pretty good combat speed. And then you have chance of skill activation and the robot army by 10%. So basically you are building around survivability instead of damage, and that's what she does. Okay, so I hope that this video is helpful to you guys. I've covered all the 3 heroes, I've covered the 3 matrices suited to them. Now it's up to you guys to figure out how you want to play them. But last bit of tips is that you should run Animox, Floranis and Baki. That's artillery. You should run Nameless, X578, and you could do Miriam if you have mega damage, or you could just go for Nora. For infantry, you could do Magni if you have him. Magni is still paid, so you could do Kuta and you could do Ingrid. So you have disarmed, you have stun, you have damage negation, you have the robot army, so you have a very annoying setup. If you don't have Magni, you could do Medalia. She still does a lot of damage, and she has this shield, so Medalia's kit still plays around Ingrid a bit, but Magni is the one that you'd be looking for if you want to run this hero. So I hope this is helpful for you. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you around.